find whatever space is the most comfortable for you as we lean into the frequency that I had basically pasted into the chat. For those who can't see the chat, if you're watching the playback, the objective for today is we're going to be working on the Alpha Centauri star bridge. Essentially, the word was grafting. That's interesting. Not exactly sure. The human words are different from the multidimensional codes, codices, architecture, blueprints. They're laughing. Interesting. So establish a crystalline bridge between Earth and Alpha Centauri as a future starseed staging point. And this is also going to kind of weave in with 3i Atlas. So I mentioned 3i Atlas earlier. Hopefully everybody who's listening to this is aware of 3i Atlas. But if you aren't aware, 3i Atlas is a interstellar object, ship, comet, high frequency that is traversing our solar system, and will be swinging by Earth on the 19th. So this star bridge connection, crystalline bridge as a starseed like staging point, will also kind of help aid in that mission as well too. If you have been with us for a little while, we've also talked about so there is a galactic or intergalactic port. The space around Earth, or Mama Gaia, is regulated. Many different star families, beings come and go, but it's all kind of divinely orchestrated, if that makes sense. I feel weaving is, yep, absolutely connected to JJ's weaving. Yes, absolutely. We're always weaving with Sister JJ, and I love JJ so much. Shout out to JJ and her family. But also, like, one of the things you'll hear me talk about too is that what we're calling in and what we're doing is very, very high frequency, and it's what we're weaving together. So while it may have similar themes or threads, it's not the same in a way. Not that anything needs to be the same or different. I just felt the need to make that distinction. I want us to be open to the possibility of the miracles of creation. Yeah, absolutely. Everything we do is in the frequency of ascension, in the frequency of unity consciousness. Absolutely. Got right here confirmation on that. So what we'll do is we're going to kind of check on some architecture that's already anchored, call in and build new architecture based on time that we have, and continue to attune, calibrate, remember all of the many different frequencies that, including your galactic architect, 5D cosmic builder, 8D, 24D, your builder frequency too. So if you just want to find a space there, or maybe you're already there, but I want to kind of get us, to have us just kind of drop in and get orientated together, and I want us to meet up in whatever place is most comfortable for you. So allowing the eyes to drop, turn on some different frequencies here. There we go. Allowing the scene around you to start to fill with hard plasma or stardust. Sending your awareness into the space around you where you're anchored at. Knowing that you are safe, that we are calibrated, we are aligned. Just exploring whatever colors, whatever movement is coming forward. whatever tones, oscillations. Setting aside our ego to become an open and clear channel. Inviting in our record keepers and the Akashic, if it's pertinent for you, to assist as well. Remembering that we were just recently in the Galactic Unified Akashic Records, and we retrieved codes and keys that were pertinent, and that we downloaded those, and that you still have access to those in whatever way feels most aligned to you. Mine's like a digital mission log or a digital library. And I want you to kind of send your awareness up and out, and you can go up your quantum pillar of light, or just drift up in your astral body, your etheric body, or you can also remote view if that feels aligned for you. But sending our awareness up and out, and I want us to meet up in either the sun's radiance room, or you can meet, if that doesn't feel aligned, you can meet in your own personal sanctuary. I'm looking for a common channeling space that's calibrated, that's outside of the planetary frequency. So outside of Mother Earth and Mama Gaia. Because for this call, we're channeling much more galactically. And your guides will come with you. Soul aspects, your inner child, the galactic children will also join us as well too. And settling into either one of those two spaces, there's always a third option, the tachyon chamber at the middle of this Milky Way galaxy, which I like to sit there sometimes too. That's kind of fun. And just settling into that space and starting to continue to calibrate and attune. Speaking your light language, your codes, your keys. Calling forward, they're saying, bring forward your personal dragon. And if you guys have anything, this is co-channeling, so please unmute and let us know what you're seeing. I forgot to say that. We're co-channeling. It's not just me. I'm just the person who hosts the meeting, but it's all of us together. So please unmute if you're seeing anything and let us know. Settling into your space, they're asking to bring forward your own personal dragon as well too. You can work with the Galactic Dragon as well. The Galactic Dragon, the eye of the Galactic Dragon is Arcturus. If you're reaching for like a higher dimensional frequency attunement. If you need to put on your golden boots or your spacesuit, take time here to do that. Hopefully everybody remembers what those are. If not, just type something into the chat. We can elaborate for you. If you need to, they said, so for me, I have Seth and Dave, which are two, they don't like the term, but two ETs that help me kind of maintain the mission logs that we've been working with. So feel free to get any updates from your personal records or mission logs that are going to aid and assist you here as well too. And settle into your space there, dropping out of the physical, mental, and emotional, sending your awareness up and outwards. And they're asking, So understanding that you're going to get everything that you need, and feel free to unmute and channel along. They're asking to meet as a grid working council. That's what's coming forward. This is the most, I guess, one of the aligned ways. I don't want to like paint it definitively because I'm just kind of channeling along with you guys. Have our grid working council meet with the Alpha Centauri Council. And you can imagine that as like us on a very kind of futuristic large spaceship, kind of traversing the multiverse, interdimensional space. And you can picture it as like, I have a picture that's generated that I'm seeing, and I can drop that for you guys, but if you need it. But yeah, just like council to council meeting, essentially, as we are preparing to call in and anchor this kind of like higher Starbridge architecture. And I'm just going to kind of set that into the field. So just imagine that that is happening in the now moment. And I want us to kind of like look around and get some awareness, get some bearing on the architecture that's located around the Earth. Because we're going to build this bridge, this crystalline bridge from Alpha Centauri. They're going to assist on their side. We're going to assist from our side. And we're going to kind of like anchor this higher dimensional architecture down into the now moment, but to give you kind of some awareness. And if you need a point of reference, you can always use the sun, since we're in the sun's radiance room. But kind of send your awareness around the Earth, and take a look at some of that galactic, I call it like, so the Galactic Port Authority runs the port, but there is like an intergalactic port that is located around the Earth. And just kind of like the further out, the larger picture that I'm trying to paint for you is this is going to assist with what's coming on the 19th as 3i Atlas swings closer to us in their orbit. So I'm interested to hear what's coming through for anybody here. If you don't mind unmuting and letting us know what you're seeing or feeling.
So it's very interesting. I'm seeing everything like in columns, and I just been uploaded a new light language too, which is very interesting. It sounds, mm, I think my ancestors from the Chinese line, ancient China, um, coming up, and then I started speaking the light language, which is very interesting. And then it's, I mean, this architect building that looks like a bulb of a flower, like a bud, a bulb of a flower. It's very tall. It's, I don't know what the material is made out of, but it has rings around them, like one, and then two, and then the base, it's like kind of like a root. It's almost the, a tree root. So it's drilling the earth itself. So it's drawing the energy from inner earth, from earth, and it is shooting up, and it's mm, crystal, diamond crystal. It's a very beautiful, transparent glass-looking thing on the ball. But the building itself is material that we have yet to to find, because it's not metal. It looks white, but it looks also gray. It's multi-dimensional color, multi-prismatic. That's what I get. So they're showing me that it's just standing there, and then surrounded by clouds upon clouds upon clouds. I don't know which planet or which Earth this is going to be. It's planet Earth, but it's not this planet Earth, if that makes sense. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's just very pure, bright light. That's what they're showing me at the moment. And with that, I'm complete.
Thank you for sharing. I'm like yawning, so I'm definitely like moving some stuff. I just started yawning a lot all of a sudden as you were talking. Yeah, so I like that was that what you brought through. So definitely let's anchor that as part of this kind of crystalline bridge that we're building. And we talked about like navigational grids, star maps, quantum teleportation technology. So essentially what we're looking for is, I wanted to kind of get us orientated to the architecture that's there in the Galactic Port, basically. And we're looking essentially, or mapping or making these different like anchor points. You can picture them as like nodes, maybe, on a network. And if somebody feels more aligned to working on the actual, like, something specific, just let us know what you're working on so that the team can kind of have an idea, whether it's like the star maps, the grids, any specific technology. I want us to kind of like use the existing architecture and the structure that's there as like anchor points to start building our side of this crystalline architecture from the Earth and sending it out towards Alpha Centauri.
I'm working on the quantum teleportation, so I can open Stargate to any location in the universe, but I don't know how yet. But eventually, I will be able to do.
Okay. No, that's good. Yeah. Work on that with your awareness, setting our intentions for that. And if you feel aligned to assist Aurora, do that. I want the rest of us to kind of like start building out these like you can almost picture it as a grid, these kind of like anchor points. And from that, we're basically what I'm feeling most aligned to do is essentially a Murphy bed function. Yeah, I'm feeling that there is definitely some like Stargate technology or port technology involved. It doesn't need to be like a physical crystalline bridge, but we don't have to necessarily like build it all ourselves. We can call it in from the void, from the 0 point, from the higher dimensions, because often a lot of these times your galactic architect or your galactic builder these things are built in the higher densities or the higher dimensions. And if you guys remember, we've talked about you can like put on your glasses or your helmet, and that allows your galactic architect or your galactic builder to kind of see what you're doing, what you're seeing, right? Because I picture mine as like in the higher densities and dimensions, and if you think, I just feel like that will assist. It also, negates any like potential like illusions you may be seeing or encountering. A Murphy bed function. Yeah, feel free to unmute and let us know how that works, because I'm not exactly sure. And if you guys are getting anything, like the frequency of code channeling, it allows those of us to see kind of what everybody else is experiencing, because we don't know what's happening if we don't communicate with one another. So as a grid working team or council, I want us to like kind of tell one another what we're experiencing, what we're seeing, what we're doing, what we're calling in. Because otherwise it's just like us sitting here kind of like thinking about what we're doing, if that makes sense.
So I cannot see anything, but I think what is happening is in the quantum field, we all have our quantum architect, and right now we use our individual's imagination. We can pull stuff and materialize on Earth, but in the end, what the new Earth is going to look like is the collective's combined vision. So right now we trying to use our imagination. We each pose our envisioned future architect, but in the end, how it's going to materialize is based on the collective's vision. But we just need to imagine and pulling stuff from the quantum.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, use your intention. Use your, if your inner child imagination is helpful, setting up these different like gridding anchor points, and then use that, like what I was kind of calling in and calling down from the higher density, higher dimensions from my galactic architect and builder. It looked like a much more organic bridge in a way, and it showed me, it reminded me of like the San Francisco bridge, but not really like that. It was like flapping, so it was very organic, and it was dropping in. If you can imagine like this behind me as like a portal from the higher dimensions, and it was descending kind of like down, and I'm assisting with that frequency of like pulling this architecture like down. But I saw it like kind of like it was like flapping. It was much more organic, not necessarily like a traditional bridge per se, if that makes sense. What else do you guys have? Let's hear it.
For some reason, I was being uploaded the word house, but it's in Chinese, jia. So I wrote it down in both the Chinese and the character. And then I'm drawing some, I'm not sure what this device is, but when I'm complete, I will take a picture of it and share in the chat. It's very interesting piece. That's what I'm working with right now.
Thank you. And if you need to also, what I was getting a ping for too is if you need to kind of reconnect with that Alpha Centauri Council, or with yourself sitting at the Gridworking Council like table per se on that futuristic starship, you can do that as well if you find that it's helpful, because we're kind of building this crystalline architecture and this also anchoring like the overlay too. Not only like the physical, but the metaphysical technology and the energetics that's required to have this kind of like crystalline port-like structure attach or connect to kind of the galactic port that's above the Earth. Does that make sense? Or am I explaining in a way that people can, am I articulating in a way that's kind of like helpful to you?
Yeah. In my mind, the future has two type of community. One is the metropolitan, which is very futuristic, very crystalline, very technology. Another is more nature-based. So the two type of community are coexisting, and people can choose where they want to live.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so let me know too if you feel like you've achieved anything into completion, so we can kind of like check that off of our list here of things that we're working on together. So whether it's like the teleportation technology, the Stargate, the anchor points, the actual bridge itself, or you've gotten something from the Alpha Centauri like Council as well too, because I'm channeling along with us, and I'm in the container, but also it's going to take all of us to kind of call in something like this. And if you have if you do muscle testing or you have a pendulum, you can use that to kind of like double check too. Like if you're not sure, you can ask your pendulum, you can ask your muscle testing, like, hey, is the teleportation tech finished? You know what I mean? And then you can find out, or you can use your pendulum, or you can just channel it too. And we can kind of cross-verify one another as well. Hopefully I'm not confusing you. Hopefully everybody I want us to kind of like work together and not necessarily like in silos where we're just kind of like working on one thing and then we're not really sure if we all kind of like focus on like calling in the actual, like, let's do that for now. Yeah, let's focus our attention, our energy on the actual crystalline bridge itself that's dropping down from the higher phase harmonics, is what I heard. And if you need to tune or calibrate, feel free to do that as well too. And if you're lost in the sauce, please let us know too. I don't want anybody to just kind of feel like they're hung out to dry here for what we're doing.
Are we making a portal or a bridge?
Well, I think it's going to me. It's like a bridge, but there will be some like Stargate or portal technology as a part of it, if that makes sense. So you can even picture it as a bridge going into a gate or a bridge going into a portal itself, even if it's like something like behind me here. And then the other side, the Alpha Centauri Council and the grid workers, architects, builders on that side are going to help as well. So it's a good question. Did that answer your question, Aurora?
Yeah, I imagine there is a slide. So you write down that slide, and in the bottom has a portal. And when you go down the slides, you went into that portal. And then you can go to the Alpha Centauri or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of just like anchoring that crystalline bridge architecture into the galactic port that's above the Earth and solidifying that connection, and then also starting to kind of build out some of the metaphysical technology, singing into place with harmonics. Okay. Yeah. Can you please elaborate? I'm not exactly sure what that means. Anchoring in with resonance. Okay. Yeah, are you able to like explain it so we can kind of, like, I understand the words, but I mean like your interpretation. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I'm just kind of setting into place kind of some metaphysical tack that is going to, I picture it as like a tether too, maybe like antenna or arrays rather, that's part of this crystalline bridge structure, which allows the whether it's like 3i Atlas or other galactic starships to kind of like connect to that with like harmonics, with a phase, with like, it's hard to explain, but it kind of makes the connection for them. I guess kind of like docking, like it's a way that they would essentially like dock into not only the galactic port, but connecting to this like crystalline bridge, which will allow them to kind of I guess, traverse the crystalline bridge and head towards the portal or the Stargate. It feels like a Stargate to me. Alpha Centauri, like Stargate type of tech. But I don't know if you guys have anything else that's coming through. I don't know if Lear has anything or... I see it too as like, so I'm kind of bilocated. I'm also on the ship talking with the council, but also like doing the things that we're talking about here too, and just kind of like showing them kind of the architecture itself so that they can understand, like, as we're making this crystalline bridge connection heading into the actual port, or heading into the actual thank you, the Stargate itself, because what they're telling me is that it's like this connection will help us work closely together, much more closely together when it's like fully anchored and realized and activated. Did you guys make any more progress, or felt like you make any more progress on anything that you wanted to share with the group here, so we can kind of get where everybody's at?
I think if I speak the light language, that might help. That's what's been uploaded to me. If that's okay. 哎，叔叔啊，小小，然后叔叔啊，叔叔呀，哈小，叔叔啊，小，你说还是呀，这而且，我叔叔呀，哈小，啊，叔啊，小，哈小，哎呀，是啊，叔啊，哎呀，小，哎是叔啊哈，哎是啊。With that, I'm complete.
Yeah, can anybody else kind of verify as far as like the anchoring of the crystalline bridge, the actual energetic node points, and I think Aurora said she was working on the teleportation technology. How's that coming, Aurora?
I don't know what am I supposed to do, but I think Leah, so your base is like a family, a home base. So it's like creating a home base looks like that, and so each star family is going to have a home base, and in that home base is going to have a portal, and you can goes to the other side of the star family. So from Earth, we're connecting to all the star family within the Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah, thank you.
Something like that.
Yeah, do you feel like, I guess what I'm asking is do you feel like what you were working on is like completed, or does it need something else? So just intuitively.
I think it's completed.
Can you describe to us so the rest of us can kind of understand what you were like seeing, like how it, like what it is?
So it's Leah uploaded a picture, so it's like that picture.
It
But I
needs
don't know.
Aurora. I think you can draw the completion part of it. You see how there's a circle on the bottom of it's not a circle, it's a compartment. And they're showing me like this crystal ball. It's like a glass ball, but it's not quite of this earth, right? And it's very clear, but it has coats within it. So it fits, it's to activate it in the sense. And I cannot draw it because it's not in my architect. I can describe how it looks like. It's very clear, iridescence, almost like the crystal ball that medium would have to look into, but the difference is there's edging of codes on the outside of it, and in the center of it, it's a diamond that surrounded with codex. It's almost holographic, and it fits there. And when someone holds this and is speaking their codes, their light language, as they're plugging it in, that's not even the right word. I don't know. Activate it. It's an activation. I'm being shown this person come up and doing that, but it's also surrounding by the collective. So it's an activation. It's a portal. That's why the word returning home pops in. So is this a beacon for everybody to return home base, relating with the word house, home, jia in Chinese. And then the codes, the pillars on the left side of my drawing, that's the spoken, like either singing it, humming it. It's a harmonization of it. And with that, my part is complete.
Yeah, the part that you were describing, is that like where exactly is that? Is that on our side? Is that on their side? Is it at the base?
It's
Is it at the gate? Like where is it
that's
specifically?
that is on Earth. Earth is the home base. So I often talking about 144. Each of the 144 is a stargate, is a sun in one of the star family. So eventually, each 144 is going to be activate a stargate on Earth. So it's like Christina, the picture she uploaded. So that's kind of like a flower of life. You know, flower of life, each dot is 144. Each one of them is a stargate that connected to one of the star family. So Earth is the home base, and each of the 144 is going to activate one of the stargate.
hmm I mean the part that Leah was talking about specifically, can you like kind of paint the picture for us, like where that is on the actual I guess architecture? On the bridge? Is it more of the like port itself, or is this something completely different? Am I just way off?
It's they're saying it is part of the bridge, a part of the bridge. So
Mm-hmm.
could there be more? Yes, there's more. So there's one. Each one of those are unique on its own. So this is my part of the architect that I get to build, but someone else get to build the activation key into the
Mm-hmm.
the
Okay.
glass. That's not my part. And someone else meant to do the other activation portal. So the bridge it's not as we thought what it is. It's multidimensional, multi-prismatic. It is like a tornado. So Christina's part, it is the vortex, right? Honeycomb. It is honeycomb. And then what they're saying, it is going to be a part of the home we are returning to. That's our galactic home. It is a honeycomb facets of this crystalline and something else that is just, and the beacon that I was seeing, that is beacon that is in the, mm, oh, on the, they say mid part of the bridge. So there
Mm-hmm.
are stages. I don't know what's on the top, but that's what they were showing me at the moment. So yeah, with that, I am complete at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You said there are stages.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, there is somebody channeled the 144's mirror. Uh, so in the future we'll have stages about building like the Stargate thing, the home base and portal thing, and there are different stages. But I see in something really cryptic. I didn't quite understand, but it does have stages, which involving like create a portal and then you connecting to different star family in the Milky Way galaxy. So the Earth is the home base, and eventually we are going to connecting to all the star family.
For some reason, the 144, they keep showing it like on the base. You know, like
First
how
is the base.
144, and it's kind of like a flower body.
Yeah, the flower of life is 144. Each dot is 144. So 144 is actually each one of them is a stargate.
Is that multiplying? Because that's what Aurora, see if because I'm seeing like that's not just that's there's many of that. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Is that kind of like another layer? So it's when I say stages, so that's like the kind of like up like I see like someone like going up like that, like jump up. Okay, that's one step. And there's the next step. And then just like and then that connecting to the bridge with the portals. I don't know how many port like the port docking there is.
Yeah, that
it's
makes that makes sense to me. you can kind of go back up to the council and like basically like I just picture like sliding the architecture or the plans or the slides over to them, basically to kind of like pass them the update on like what is essentially like anchoring in, you know. And like the home base or the port itself, like for today we're just going to anchor like this portion of the Alpha Centauri like crystalline like bridge leading to the actual like Stargate itself, if that makes sense. And you can just basically hand them like any like blueprints or copy of the architecture, or just intend for them to have it if you don't even feel like. Does that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's because like when you're working on a project, the whole point is to kind of like have everybody know what's happening on a project. So we updating them, they're updating us, we're updating one another, we're doing the actual portions of it that need to be like anchored or completed, essentially.
I get it. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm complete for today's assignment. If that makes sense. My job is done for today. Thank you.
Yeah, so just for kind of the sake of the records and completion here, so we anchored, I would say, our side of the actual like bridge. We were working on the like tethering, metaphysical tech, the teleportation tech, the actual gate itself, anchoring what Leah was speaking about, and Aurora as well too. I would say like intention setting for like the actual like home base portion of that, and even if we need to further work on the gate or portal interface, harmonics, I guess. Yeah, they're showing me a essentially like a spiral of sound. I think that's more like of the actual portal technology itself. Asking for any like additional codes to be exchanged with the Alpha Centauri Council. Any additional navigational grids, star maps, quantum technology, metaphysical technology, mission logs as well that need to be updated or exchanged. Asking that those happen too. Holograms, anchoring programs or processes. What else? Thank you for sharing those. Oof. Anybody else have anything to share that's coming with the rest of the group here? Can you elaborate on what we're looking at, Christina? And let us know.
Not exactly. There's been so much zooming in and zooming out that, yeah, I'm not there with the words, but I guess the first one that I just posted was I just kept drawing more layers on top of the initial one with all the circles. And like some of them, it's like different things too. Like, so it's different kind of pens and pencils. So like as I hold it at different angles, it looks like the color changes. It looks pretty cool. But then I just kept seeing like the little almost square parts in between kind of being highlighted and like turned and zoomed in. But it was while they were both Aurora and Leo were saying things that I can't quite like pinpoint what the words were other than Stargate. And uh yeah, there was a lot. It was fast.
Uh-huh.
So I could just get the picture. When you were like, I'm just gonna do some light language if that's okay. I was like, please, yes, bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. You're doing like you're drawing the inside part of it, if that makes sense. Because what I'm feeling from your drawing here, it's like a hallway. It's an inside part, like
Mhm.
catacombs? If
Hmm,
honeycomb catacombs?
maybe, yeah,
Something like that. It's a pot within a pot within a pot. So it is
yeah.
honeycomb shape,
What's
right?
that?
But it
Like, is it fractals or what's the name of the things
uh,
that you like zoom out? It's like,
Mandela's?
no.
No.
no, it's not.
When you zoom out, what do you
I do
mean?
not have access to my words right now. They do a lot
Same.
of I'm gonna have to look up a picture to show what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Fractal. When you zoom in, it
Is it
looks the
fractal? Yeah,
same
okay.
as
I wasn't sure if fractal
zoom
was the
out.
word.
Yeah,
Okay.
fractal.
So it's like it's all like looping back over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like what part are we looking at? Like a part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Don't forget too, like you have access to all of the records were sitting at the council table. You can ask them as well too for assistance for an exchange of keys or codes. You have access to all the mission logs that we've been downloading the entire time, as well as we just were in the Akash as well too. So feel free to kind of like go back and use whatever process it is that you access that, and kind of like if you're looking for an answer,
Yeah.
remember we're not always
Well,
looking
it's
for an answer.
true. Well, it started with I was asking like what how do I say? Like what am I looking at and like how do I approach this? And it kind of the answer at first is very calming. I don't remember any of the words of it, but then it just took me through a visual of like it's like the key code is not in our eyes, but like in how we see, or I don't know, something. But that's part of the reason I think they kept taking me on the journey of the fractals, and I feel like I'm getting a lot like coming in the
Mhm. Okay.
so I hope I understand it more later. It feels kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, I think so. And let's have everybody too, before we kind of get to a point here where we're going to wrap up. I want everybody to kind of call their portion into completion and like set that intention to anchor whatever it is that what we spoke about on this call, to like fully anchor that in the now moment. And then whatever updates you need to provide, not only to our Grid Working Council, but also the Alpha Centauri Council that's sitting at the table, please do that as well too. Update your own personal mission logs as well too. And then let me know when you feel complete in that. Yeah, I'm complete on my portion. Let me know when you guys are good.
I'm complete too.
Okay. Yeah.
Same. I'm complete.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, is there anything else anybody's feeling before we kind of bring this to a conclusion, at least for today, that we needed to talk about while we have this space open? I'm setting the intention that this crystalline bridge, crystalline Stargate technology, in accordance with our intentions earlier, be for our highest and greatest good. May it aid humanity, our star families, the collective, even 3i Atlas as well too, who will be swinging closer to the Earth. Then it anchors into, actually we need to update the Galactic Port Authority as well too, the GPA. Sending them any updates, and Seth and Dave can do that for us, please, and thank you. Sending gratitude to the Alpha Centauri Council, who stepped forward today to weave with us. Sending gratitude for ourselves, the Grid Working Council, for all of the many different things that was channeled through and anchored today, our guides, helpers, allies, soul aspects, galactic children, any other children frequencies, including our inner child. Deep love and gratitude. Thanking our galactic or quantum architect, our builder, all of our soul aspects that assisted as well too. Okay, thank you. Just getting some confirmation as I'm remembering. Our counterparts. So the counterparts on the Alpha Centauri side, who are also weaving with us as well too, acknowledging them, not just the Alpha Centauri Council, the representatives, but the actual our counterparts, essentially. Sending them gratitude as well too. Our dragons, angels. Anything else anybody else wanted to bring up before we close out? Anything on your mind pertinent to what we did today? Any questions? Aurora, I hope you get feeling a little bit better.
Oh, I'm feeling better already. How come you picked Alpha Centauri?
That's a good question. Actually, Alpha Centauri has been in the field for a while. I mean, there's like Zeta Reticuli. There's a couple that are in like beyond Orion. We've been doing submissions like with Orion and the war timelines, and that came up again even today. But Alpha Centauri was like loud. The Zeta Reticuli is loud, and it's interesting because so when I say like loud or soft, I view it in like distance too, but it's really frequency. So you'll hear me say like near or far, or like closer in the field or further away in the field. And like I can see stuff that's like all the way out at the edges. If you imagine this is the field, right? And I can like see things that are like all the way at the edges that are kind of coming in, right? And to me, like Orion would be like here, and then as we're further out, like these, see the Reticuli, Alpha Centauri, these different star families that don't even have names. They have names. I'm hearing some of their names. They're further away. So I'm basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like bridge. I'm trying to basically like walk us as a group, as a grid working council, towards these things that I'm seeing in the field. And they're popping up in the field because they're here for whatever the reason is, to assist us with what's coming in 2026. So I'm kind of in a way, is that a good way of explaining it? Do you guys, is that confusing, or you guys tell me, how does
No,
that feel?
yeah, that feels very aligned to me because we've been so focused in one area, the Orions, right? And certain galactic planet, but it's time for us to upgrade and venture out. So yeah, it's just I'm connecting with it and I'm loving it. It's like,
Yeah.
yay! Like I'm flying, and then it's like, okay, why am I just staying in one place flying? I'm getting exhausted just staying in one place. I want to venture out, spreading the wings, right?
Yeah, and if you
That's the feeling I
imagine
get.
this, thank you for saying that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you imagine
That's like,
this as like a swirling frequency, but it's not 2D. This image is like 2D, right? So this is a swirling frequency, a spiral that has you, and it goes up vertically through the density and dimensions. So like when I'm saying like 5 or 6 months ago, I heard some families that are like way out here. It's not like horizontal, it's much more like vertical and up rather. So like I'm trying to basically like attune all of us as a council to basically expand our consciousness, expand our awareness, expand every single part and piece of us down to the subatomic, which will allow us to kind of reach further. And I got a confirmation in my ear, that's what we're doing, reach further and further and further up and out, and like kind of bridge these connections into the other parts of the galactic grid working. That's important because not everybody has access to like what we're doing, right? So we're expanding ourselves every single call. We're reaching further and further and further, going up and then going outwards, you know? And sometimes you got to travel through portals, or sometimes you got to build gates, or sometimes you have to like attune yourself and set intentions and ask for the upgrades and the calibrations and ask for the initiations, you know, that are like needed to allow us to continue further doing the things that we're doing. So yes, we're absolutely weaving with JJ and our community, but my intention is to me, JJ is like a convergence point. She's this massive point of convergence for the collective to get to, and we've like gone up through that, accelerated past that convergence point, and we're moving up in the density and the dimensions. So a lot of times that's what I'm using different techniques that I'm channeling in, and that we're all calling in together into the field, and I'm pulling them from the field on how to expand us further up and out.
Yeah, we each have our own mission, but collectively we are on the same frequency.
Yeah, and it's like a spectrum. This is just a visual representation, but like don't even you hear me say often is like release the need to label it. So a lot of times our human wants to know, we want to understand, we want to see the colors, we want to get all of the parts, we want to know, right? But a lot of this stuff isn't meant to be known in the now moment, or maybe you only know just enough to get you to the next spot, to the next spot, to the next spot, and you can just run loops wondering like, what is all this stuff out here, and what is this and this and this and this and this and this, and you see what I'm saying? Like really, like our higher self, our ancient future self is already in the frequency of fully aligned and completed back to God source creator in unity consciousness. So that is kind of like my goal is to essentially kind of in a way weave us back through the densities towards unity consciousness, towards God source creator, and eventually like fold ourselves into that. Remember our way back through the fractals. I don't know if that feels aligned. You tell me.
I just like to do things.
Yeah, you're all doing great. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself like a huge high five. You've done amazing work, and we'll continue to do amazing work in the coming weeks and months, and things are going to get much more higher frequency, and we'll get much more attuned. And it's a process. Even when we did the Deep Channeling Council, you notice like it's a little bit of a process that I'm kind of like walking us through, because we have to kind of continue to like grid ourselves and weave ourselves and reach out into one another, and it's a little bit of a process. You want to make it like comfortable, if that makes sense. And I'm definitely not saying that I have all of the answers by any stretch of the imagination. We're all just kind of figuring this out together. You know what I mean? But we've all done this before in like many, many hundreds, if not thousands, of lifetimes. Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's remembering together and like trusting our inner knowing, our inner remembrance, that like you can literally drop into the 0 point, into the quantum field, into the void, and call that remembrance in, and you've already done it in hundreds of lifetimes. So you don't need to like do anything. You literally, we're just kind of remembering, we're attuning ourselves to that frequency of the higher dimensions and densities. And it's a little bit of a process to make it comfortable, but it's definitely like achievable, you know, and we want to continue to bring in more brothers and sisters into our circle who are aligned to what we're doing, you know, who are aligned and who have the capacity and have the capability to weave and grid. So yeah, anything else for anybody? Thank you guys so much. Feel free to unmute. Hopefully I
This was
explained that in the way.
fun.
Yeah, no, I liked how you summarized, wrapped up.
Yeah, thank you. And a lot of it too is like I'm asking for clarity as well too. So my own personal intentions, I'm asking for like clarity as I'm channeling, or as we're channeling as a collective. I'm asking the guys to like step forward and assist us. So it's not just like me and my human ego thinking I'm channeling something. It's like tapping into that higher remembrance, that higher knowledge, the Galactic Unified Akash, allowing the guides to come through and give us clarity on the things that we're weaving, that we're gridding, and that we're calling in for the collective, because 2026 is going to be a year of momentum. It's going to be a year of forward movement. I think this lull that we're in, or this kind of liminal space, is going to be kind of called into completion, and we're going to be moving forward with just another amazing year, personally. So.
It's very fun. I like it.
Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll call this into completion now. And I'll see you on, I think, Monday. Yeah, Monday. We're going to have, next week's going to be a pretty fun week. We're going to be heading into the 12/12 tomorrow, so happy early 12/12. If you got anything planned, please share in the Telegram so we can see one another's kind of like projects and the different grid working that we're doing. I'm going to be doing something for 12/12 with a friend of mine. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you. Feel free to unmute.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Glenn.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everybody.
Love you
Have a
guys.
good evening.
Okay. Bye.